Educators with Kimmi. I'm your host, Kimmi Nunnally. Hey, your number one notary educator with the number one notary mentor and training program. Welcome to the channel, guys. Welcome to the podcast and those who will watch the replay. Let's cut that down because we are live. So we'll let YouTube do its thing. Today we are talking all about the notary journal. I have some exciting news about some stuff happening here at Notary Educators, and I'm sure you're going to want to be a part of it. And we're going to do some training as always every time I go live. Tamla, what's up, girl? How are you enjoying mentorship? And do you understand now why it's applicable to all states? That was one of Tamla's concerns. But to be a great notary, it doesn't just happen in your state. You have to know how to process documents nationwide, worldwide, okay? So, hey guys, welcome everybody. So today I want to talk about the notary journal. First of all, I'm going to introduce my new journal. I'm going to show you how to use it, but this is applicable to any journal if you already have one. If you don't have one, I really want you to focus. And even if you have one, I find people are not writing in their journals. Hey, Chanel, how are you? So I introduced this last night in mentorship, but it's my new notary journal. This is the paperback version, okay? And the little sentence on there says, every signature matters, okay? And that's our goal at Notary Educators too, to make sure every signature matters. That's why I put it on this journal. Your client signature matters. Your witness signature matters. Anybody that's part of that signing, their signature matters, and it needs to be in this journal, okay? So this is the paperback version. And guess what? At the request of one of our students, they said, Kimmi, does it come in a hard copy? And I was like, nope, but it does now. So shout out to Mr. Eric. And I love this journal. It's so nice and thin. Look how thin it is. It has 100 entries in it. And on the inside, we're going to go step by step about the journal today, notary journal. But I love this hardback. This is going to be my new journal. I love it. So I do have paperback for those of you who want that. But this hardback, what? It's a game changer. You want to look like a pro when you do your notary signings? Pull out this journal. They're going to be like, oh, look at her or look at him. So step by step. Why do you need a journal? Some states don't even require you to have one, okay? I don't care what your state says. Kimmi's going to supersede that and say you need to have a journal, okay? I don't care what your state says. Many states still say it's not required. Now, Georgia just came out in 2025 with a law that certain documents, certain types of signers need to be recorded. I'm going to go against that. Every time you are stamping, every single time, I'm going to say it a third time, every single time you are doing a notarization, I don't care who it's for, family, friend, foe, whoever, lawyer, doctor, whoever, it needs to go in your journal, okay? You have to write it down. A lot of times people say, well, it's my friend, I know her, their family, whatever. No, because people forget, and that's the purpose of the journal. People forget, okay? You be like, oh, yeah, we were at the family barbecue and Susie asked me to sign her document. And then you go back 6 years from now, because it will happen, attorneys will come back 3, 4, 5 years later and say, hey, were you the notary? They'll come back 3, 4, 5 years later and say, who was the witnesses? Who? And I even have one that, I lost my mom almost 3 years ago now. It was 3 actually in February. I've had attorneys come back and say, who was a signer on this document from 5 years ago? And it was her. She's no longer with us, but do they care about that? No. They want to know who was the signer, who was in the room when it happened. So everything needs to be recorded in your journal. So I'm going to give you some tips about my journal. And again, if you already have one that you're using, you can try this on your next go round, or you can switch it out, whatever you want to do. But anyway, inside the journal, I've taken the liberty to put everything that we need as notary. So in your journal, you want to make sure you have a start date. Okay, the start date. When did you start using this journal? What was the end date that you used this journal? And why is that again so important? Because if you start notarizing January 1, 2025, you use this journal for 6 months or 1 month or whatever, and then you have another one when that attorney calls you back and say, hey, I need you to pull the documents that were notarized. I need information on a transaction that happened on January 3rd. Then that lets you know, oh, which journal was I using at that point? Because you're going to have more than one. I have about 15 that I've used, okay? I have about 15. So you want to make sure you put the date on the inside so you can know when you started it. You want to write your commission number, okay? Right here. I've put that in the book for you. Many notary journals don't include all of the information that I'm including because I'm a notary and I know what we need, okay? So I put the commission number. Why do you need to write your commission number in the front of your journal? Is because a lot of times documents will ask you for that. What is a commission number? We have so many numbers to remember, bank account numbers, passwords. You're not going to remember your commission number. So an easy way to have it handy at all times is when you first get your journal, write your commission number here. Okay? So now when you're filling out your document and it says, hey, what's your commission number? You don't have to look it up. It's right here in the front of your journal. I put a space for that. Okay? Your name, address, and phone number just in case it's lost. Okay? And I included a sample oath for you right in the front of the journal. A lot of times you're like, oh, what do I say? Most states do not require you to say something specific. So I just gave you a basic oath, what to say right here, okay? Just a basic oath if you have to put your client under oath. And if you don't know when to put your client under oath, if you are not putting your client under oath, you need to be seeing me about mentorship, okay? Because you should be putting your client under oath. And if you are not, you need some training, okay? If you don't even know when to put the client under oath or how to do it, what to say, that's another story for another day. I'm going to have you check out notaryeducatorsllc.com for mentorship, okay? So let's get back to our journal, though. So what I did also in my journal, bam, is I've included sample screening questions for you, okay? You don't have to be a member of Notary Educators to get access to my sample screening questions. I went ahead and included that for you. And I'll just go over a few of those for you. Does the client have valid ID? What type of documents are being notarized? So all of these questions equal money. You always hear me say that. Questions equal money. That's going to help you to learn how to price your services, okay? And a lot of times you don't know how to price your services, so we do have a course for that because it's a whole skill set in pricing your services. You know, you can't just say, oh, that'd be $2. You won't make any money. And you need to learn how to price, and that's a skill, okay? So I've taken the liberty, again, to include sample screening questions in here for you, okay? Very good. Now, we're going to actually get into what's on the actual journal pages, okay? Let me read some of the comments right quick. Chanel Tamla says she liked the hard copy. Girl, I'm telling you, this hard copy, it's a game changer. When you're out there and you pull out this bad boy, remember, you want to be memorable, right? You want to be memorable. So you pull out your marble hardback notary journal. Oh, again, like somebody just said, you look like the professional. Tamla says she likes the hard copy. Chanel says she likes it as well. Chanel is the one saying it looks professional. I knew I had read that. Yeah, it looks very professional. Not either one looks professional. That's why I got rid of that other one. I like the yellow that I had at first. I love that. But this one just looks so professional with the marble, you know. It just looks so professional. Thank you, Lori. Lori says, I love that journal. But the hardback is a game changer, okay? Now, the National Notary Association has a hardback running about $50. So I did do my price comparison as a business owner. You should do the same when you go to price your notary services. What is the competition charging, right? So as a business owner, with my Notary Educators hat on, I'm like, well, who else is selling a hardback, which is an NNA? What are they charging for? And they charge like $45 to $50 for theirs. At the time of this recording, it's only $29.99, okay? At the time of this recording, it's only $29.99 for the hardback. But like I said, NNA does have a hardback. It runs $45 to $50 something. So I did my homework. Now let's talk about what goes inside of your notary journal. So we know why we need to have it. Again, even if your state says it's not required, do you need a journal? That was my smoothie. Yes, you need to have a notary journal. We talked about why, okay? Oh, yes, Chanel. It's at Notary Educators LLC under the supply list, notary supplies. Yep. Everything is at notaryeducatorsllc.com and under the notary supply list. And guys, I have a few free resources there, which is one of them is a supply list. But I have two more coming for you soon. They're not uploaded, but I'm providing a couple more resources because sometimes people, before they want to commit to the mentorship program, they really want to know a little bit more about the steps to do something, right? So it should be out hopefully by the end of the week. I do have one up there now for basic notaries, become a basic notary, but I'm also adding a couple more free resources for you. There are plenty free resources there, guys. So I'm not just always selling something. You already know this if you watch me any length of time. Thank you, Chanel. Yep, notaryeducatorsllc.com. So let's get into the journal. So we already love the outside, right? I'm gonna show you one more time. Bam. And this is the hard copy. And then we have the soft copy. But inside the journal, let's get into that really quick. And you'll be able to see this on Amazon. It says about another 10 days. You could actually look on the inside. But you're going to make, so I put a space here for you. The hiring / signing company. Why is that important? Most journals don't contain that, but I did put that in here for you. That's important to put who hired you, because a lot of times you have to go back and say, hey, you didn't pay me, or you forgot who you worked for. You have the signing listed, the name of the client, all of that, the address of the client, but you simply forgot who hired you. You forgot where location it happened. So I actually created a line for that, the hiring / signing company. And the reason I put both, because sometimes you're doing field inspections. So which field inspection company hired you? Okay. You need to know this in your journal. The next is the signing location address. So that's included here too. What is the address of the signing? Because the address of the signing may be different than the address of the client. Okay. So your client lives at 1234 Lovers Lane, but your signing happened over at 123 Hotmail Street. Okay. So that's important too. Where did the signing happen? So I have a line for you. Then of course you have your name of your signer, and you can pick if it's the signer, the witness, a credible witness, or other. Okay, 4 spaces there, because typically they're not more than 4 people at a signing. It could happen. It could happen, but typically you have 2 people signing and 2 witnesses, typically. Or 1 person signing. It's usually, it could be 1 person, 1 witness, but normally it's not more than 4. So you have 4 spaces here. There's even a space for a thumbprint. Then you also want to put the name of the signer, the date that it happened. The date, again, is so important. Don't figure out, just write the ID down and keep it moving. You need the date because, again, when those attorneys come back on you and they want to know a specific date and time, you need to go to your journal and say, okay, on 1/1, this is what happened. And the time, it was at 3 o'clock. Why is the time so important? Because your client may say something like, well, I wasn't at that signing at 3 o'clock. I was at work. I could have never signed that document. Oh, no, you did sign it because you signed my journal at 3 o'clock. You were not at work. You were right in front of me. Okay, these are things that you need to know. This is deep diving into the notary journal and why it's so important. Okay, so the next thing we're going to write is it the signer? Is it the witness? Or what type of, who's signing this part of it? The credible witness or other. Other could be, was the nurse's aide there as a witness? Okay. Or other could be the daughter was in the room, because on the bottom there's a section for notes. We're going to get to that. But who else was in the room? Then driver's license. Now, some states do not allow you to write the driver's license number, okay? But you want to write as much as you can legally per your state handbook. So, for example, in Texas, you can't write the driver's license number, okay? Some places you can't ask for a thumbprint. And I put the thumbprint here just because some states require it. But if your state does not require the thumbprint, don't ask your client for a thumbprint. All right, because we're going to be a second. So yeah, don't ask your client for a thumbprint if your state doesn't require it. We don't want to stress our client out. We don't want to be asking for extra biographics, demographics, whatever. I think it's bio, because he's talking about the eyes and stuff like that. We don't want to ask for more information, though, from the client than necessary. People are already on edge. I had somebody one day, she was like, your husband took my ID, because he writes sometimes the ID in a journal for me while I'm doing the other piece of it. And she's like, your husband took my ID around the car, and I was wondering, what did he do with it? What you think he did with it? He took it as, no, let me not even play like that. He did not do anything with your document, okay? So with your driver's license. So I had to let her know that we have to keep a record of who was here in case somebody asks us later. Okay. Then, so again, so if your state does not allow for the ID number to be written, don't write it. It's just as simple as that. You just skip that box, okay? The issue date, I don't get into writing the issue date. I did put it here for those of my people who really want to write every single thing down. I have those people out there. Now, what I make sure I capture when I'm doing my notary journal is the person's name, what type of ID, and the number. Okay, the expiration date and all that. The issue date is really not that important. I have spaces here for you. But when you go to the state of Florida and they run that ID number, they know everything about that person. Okay. So all I make sure is I got a good number for that state, the state and the ID number. Georgia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I don't write the issue date and all that, but I have my people, my notary community. I know some of you are way more thorough and want to write that down and capture that information. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So you can write that down, expiration date. Then I have my clients sign it. There's a space here for signature. Again, always have your clients sign, okay? You want them to sign your journal. You want them to sign that journal. Why? Because it's proof that they were there. Again, when you get that phone call from that attorney or that letter in the mail or that email saying, hey, you were the notary and we need some information, you're going to thank me later. I know you're thinking, Kimmi doing the most. Kimmy's always extra. Because I hear people say that. That's not necessary. You ain't got to do that. No, you may not have to, but you will thank me later when that attorney does call you. And it's going to happen. I'm telling you, it doesn't happen often. I've been asked about a previous notarization at least 4 times, 5. And if it wasn't for me, I was notarizing for another notary. Okay. So make sure your client signs your journal. Okay. That's the next thing. And we're going to make sure we have the address. Now, I do like to get an address. Now, when it comes to the address and my client, and sometimes this will happen, they'll say, well, hey, my driver's license is different than the document, and they want to do a whole 20-minute spiel on that. I don't care what you write on there. I want your current address, but if you got to have a whole story, well, I'm moving back here next week, and I'm going over there next month. I don't care about all that. Just give me something. But my preferred address is the one that you currently live at in case we got to get you, okay? Or we got to find you. But then again, when we think about modern technology, if they want to write a previous address, I'm going to still find you because when I Google, your old address going to come up. So people will get in a tizzy about that. I want to keep the transaction, the notarization moving smoothly, okay? I'm not taking 2 hours to get this journal filled out. Okay, and once you start filling it out, it won't take that long. As I'm going through it right now, it may seem like, dog, that's a lot of information. But once you start getting that ID, you learn your process, you do your thing, boom, boom, boom. Okay? And then, of course, you want a phone number. Now, I did put a space here for email. There is a space for email, but you want to make sure you get the phone number. Okay? I want phone number, address. I don't typically ask for email, but you can. Okay? I even included a space here for you to remind you if you want to get the email. But I don't typically ask for the email address, okay? Again, there's a space for 4 people. Let me get a couple of your comments and then I'll come back to the journal. And for those who may be just joining us, I am rolling out and doing some notary journal training today. This is my new hardback, thin. I love it. You will too. Bam, it looks classy. Something I could be proud of. The first one, I loved it. But this one right here, every signature matters. I love it. Okay, let's see y'all comments right quick. Jermaine, how you been doing? Jermaine says, I got a call from an attorney about a POA that I did a couple months ago. I did the POA last year. I'm trying to tell you, it's not just me sitting up here trying to scare you into buying my journal. You need a journal. You need a journal, and I cover everything you need. Thank you, Jermaine. Let's see what else happened. So she was impressed that I was able to answer her questions and show her dates. I also had the information for the witnesses to send her. Good morning, Jermaine. He says, by the way, Jermaine been rocking with us for a minute. Jermaine, yes. So you know I'm not lying, right? I'm not trying to scare the people into buying a journal. These things actually happen. Anything I tell you over here, I don't just make up stories for YouTube. I got enough content here. I got plenty of content. And when you do something for real in real life, I'm not just a YouTuber. I got stories for days, okay? I only give y'all an nth of what actually happens out there. I just don't even have enough time to film, right? So when I come over here and I tell you something, it happened. So yeah, Jermaine is right though. So look how organized he was though. Look how he probably even saved himself. If he had been disorganized and didn't have all his stuff documented, what do you think could have been? What could have been the result? Thank you, Jermaine. I appreciate it. What could have been a result though, Jermaine, if you wasn't prepared? Sometimes people know that you don't know your stuff and they'll throw something on you. You ever had that happen at a job? It's like, she don't know if she did it or not. Let's say she did it. Now, I ain't believing in the conspiracy theory, but let's just keep it real. It happens. But if you got somebody else who know, boom, boom, boom. Oh no, I don't play that with Kimberly because I know she didn't do that. I know she knows her stuff. I have had that happen before. I can't give you a exact scenario, but I've had people that try to play me at a job before, and they're figuring, well, such and such don't know. So Kimberly, oh no, I know my stuff. I don't care what industry I have been in. I learn the business. I don't just fake it till I make it. I don't care when I was doing registration at the hospital, when I was a teller at the bank, financial service rep at the bank, customer service at the bank. Whatever I do, when I have my daycare, I research it, I study it, I am it. I am the thing that I am learning to be. I am so all in, it would blow your mind. So if you couldn't tell, I'm pretty serious about being a notary. Okay, when I decided I'm going to be a notary, I wasn't just going to be stamping papers. I wasn't just going to be somebody that just stamp and just go. No, I want to know why I'm doing it. What am I doing it for? Who am I doing it for? Why do they need this? What kind of document is this? So I say you don't have to really know what the document says, but because I'm the connoisseur of notary, heck yeah, I want to know what I'm signing. What is a power of attorney? What is a trust? What is a codicil? What is it? And if you don't know, check out all my trainings, okay? And mentorship. It's only $47 a month. NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. But my point is, I don't have step, I don't have but, I don't go half cocked. I don't do none of that. I'm sure you heard one of those sayings before. That means you half stepping. It's a whole song. Ain't no half stepping. No, whatever we do in excellence. Okay? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. So I didn't roll out my mentorship program till I knew it was the bomb.com. I didn't roll it out till I could say it was the #1 mentorship. My journal. Yeah, I had a journal, but I wasn't really feeling that one. But this one, I'm all over it because it is the bomb.com. Okay? Hard copy if you're just joining us. It does come in paperback, but I just love this hard copy. I never even thought about having one myself. But now this will be my journal, of course. So anyway, all that being said, be organized like Jermaine. Be organized like me. You have to be organized in your business, okay? If you don't run your business correctly, it will show. My husband has a saying, his daddy always said, if it don't catch you in a rinse, it's going to catch you in a wash. If you don't do it up front, it's going to catch you later, okay? So let's get back to what else is in the journal. Thank you, Jermaine, for sharing your story. And if you have a story too where an attorney reached out to you, please drop it so I can read it here so people know I ain't just making this up. The next thing I did for you is I included all your services. So you got your acknowledgement, jurat, oath, apostille, ink fingerprinting, proctoring, field inspection, I-9, wedding officiant, permit runner, copy certification, and other. So if you're doing any of those services, all you have to do is just check the box which one you are doing. So I have a specialty journal out there also. I was going to take it off the market, but I decided not to because so many people are used to using it separately from their regular journal. So in that journal, it contains the spaces for you to do your apostille and ink fingerprinting and proctoring and all that. And the other reason we had two at one time, because Angela is our other trainer. She's no longer with the company. She's, as of January, for those of you who didn't know, because I still get people to say, I didn't know Angela was gone. So yes, Angela's gone. And she had a journal on our platform. So I wouldn't dare have a journal on the platform. My friend has one. So now that she's no longer with us, I was like, well, you know what? I can just have one journal that covers everything. And some people still like the separation of the two because actually ink fingerprinting is not a notarial act. I-9 form is not a notarial act. So they like the separation, but it doesn't matter because you could just still use this one journal and you would just check ink fingerprinting. I would probably write in my notes that they had 2 cards. I would put what company it was for just to jog my memory later. Okay, if you were going to use this for your I-9 form, I would just check I-9, and then I would just check what 2 pieces of ID I used or what 1 ID I used if any other special documentation was required. So you see, it's a lot going into a journal. Okay, it's not just let me write this person's ID and keep it moving. No, when you are doing your notary journal, it's important. So if you've not watched this video from the beginning, I'm gonna highly recommend you go back and watch it. Okay. So now let's talk about the space for apostilles, because everything is inclusive. This journal is all inclusive. And for those of you just joining, I'm rolling out my new journal, hardback and soft copy. I'm going through why you need a journal, what to record in your journal. So if I was going to use this particular page for an apostille client, then I would check apostille. Okay, I would check apostille down there. I would put the document type. There's a space for the type, and then I would put what country it's going to, and the destination, the origin of the document. What state did it originate, and what country is it going to? So if you don't know, I do actually have a apostille training course. Okay. And it's all inclusive in the membership, $47. You can watch it for, inclusive, or you can buy it separately. And all the courses can be bought separately. I'm still selling them separately. 60% off. Coupon code is WIN2025, WIN 2025. Okay. So, but back to the journal. So what I would write if I was doing an apostille, again, the document type. Is it a single person affidavit? What country is it going to? It's going to Panama. Okay. Where did this originate? Well, in this case, say it originated in California. Okay. Because you can do them nationwide when you know how to do them. And then I would write some notes. What is the expected turnaround time for me to receive that apostille back? Okay. 2 days, 3 days, a week. Okay. What method of shipping did I use? I used FedEx, UPS. I would write that in my note section. Okay. And then I would have my clients sign when they pick up the apostille. I always have my clients sign my journal when they pick up their apostille. That's a good habit for you too. I don't want them to lose their documents on the way home and say, you never gave it to me. Oh no, yes I did. That's why I said you record everything, okay? Everything you do. I don't do any transaction, not notarial or non-notarial specialty work, whatever you want to call it. I don't do nothing without documenting it in my journal, okay? Nothing. So again, even with your apostille, when your client picks it up, have them sign that they picked it up, okay? And I usually have them sign it after I have explained to them, hey, don't pull it apart because that'll void it. And if you don't know, you need to take the training. I have to cough. Sorry, y'all. The banana probably tickling my throat. And I put 2 in my smoothie this morning. Okay, so let's get back to it. So we're going to put some notes there, okay? Now, the next thing on the bottom is my new favorite part. I am so excited about this. Is I put a space for you to separate your fees, okay? We often talk about the money, how much I'm making, how much does it cost? That's what your client want to know. I put a space in here, 3. On the bottom of the journal, there's a space for your notary fee. So in my state, it's $2. In your state, it may be $10. It may be $5, right? Whatever it is, on the bottom here, I'm going to put my state fee, and then I'm going to put the travel fee separate, okay? Travel fee. You need to separate this. On your receipt, it should be itemized, okay? So if my client calls the Secretary of State and says, she charged me $85 for a notary. No, I did not. And in my state, I don't even charge them for stamps. You may. And for example, Texas is $10. Florida's $10. California, $15. I'm going to ask for my whole $15 per stamp, right? So I'm going to put $15 is what the state fee is on my journal. I'm going to put $15 here. I'm going to put my travel fee separate. So when they call the Secretary of State, so she charged me $150. No, I didn't. I charged you, my travel fee was $50, and then my per stamp fee was $2 or $6 or whatever you charge, okay? And then so that way it's separate. And then the number of stamps here on the bottom. Why did I include a space for that? Because you need to keep a track of that for tax reasons. I even have a tax course in the mentorship program. When I say I got you covered A to Z in the mentorship program, you are covered literally A to Z. And welcome everybody that's just joining us. The tax course is there also. So once you start taking the training with me, it'll all make sense. Oh, sorry. So you need to separate your stamps, though, again, for that reason, for tax purposes. So this journal, as well as this is the paperback and this is the hardback. Whichever one you want, you can have it. They're both beautiful, and I just love them. I'm so excited. Have you covered from A to Z, just like the mentorship program. So if you're not a part of mentorship, I'm going to highly recommend you check it out. You have Notarize Like a Pro, the apostille course, remote online notary, loan sign agent, ink fingerprinting, field inspection. I just did a whole field inspection video, marketing course. Everything you need to do your notary business. That's why I keep saying in 2025, no more excuses. Now, I just read today. Now we're going to have a little frank conversation, okay? I just read today in a Facebook group that people feel like because the signing companies are not paying as much as they did when I first started. When I first started, signings were running about 100, 125. I was like, dang, that's some good money. I can go out there for 30 minutes and make $125. Good night, right? The market has changed. It's changed. Am I not going to encourage you to go out there and make $50 or $75 an hour? Heck no. Do you make $75 an hour at your job? How many of you right now make $75? I'm just curious. Do you make $50 an hour at your job? Do you make 50? Anybody willing to share? Do you make $50 an hour? Do you make 50? And actually, most jobs don't even take an hour, y'all. So when we was making that money, it was good. If they paid it to me today too, I'm gonna take it, right? I usually do more direct work at this point. And we can show you how to do that too. But I do take work from signing companies. I would take a $75 job in a minute. Why? Because I know I can go in there and get it done in 30 minutes. 30 with chit chat. Okay? 30 with chit chat. So do you make $75 an hour? Do you make $50 to $75? Because most jobs, let's say 50. Do you make 50? Do you make $50 an hour? If you're not making $50 an hour, all that crap that people telling you on the internet, oh, I'm leaving the business, I'm quitting, I'm not renewing my commission, I'm selling my printer, I'm selling my copier, you can get my mobile scanner and all that. Let them sell their stuff. If you want to buy it, get it. But I'm not going to tell you not to do the business. That's ridiculous. That is straight bananas. Most people don't make $50 an hour. So yes, is it the same as it was when I started? It's not. It's not. Will it come back to those days? Maybe. I don't think it's probably going to come back, but that's why you got to learn how to do this business. If the business is still very profitable. Why? You can do apostilles, you can do field inspections. So imagine this day. So people will do, and I don't walk around saying you can make $10,000 a month, okay? I have one video on my channel about that, but I'm going to show you how really quick. You need to make $300 a day. I think it's $330 a day to make $10,000 a month. And most people, I mean, we ain't making that kind of money. Do you even need $10,000 a month? If somebody gonna give it to me, I'm gonna take it. But do I really need that to live? No. Do you? No. And you ain't even making that anyway. So let's do the math. You do one loan signing per day at $50. I wish I had my calculator. Y'all help me with the math out there because my phone has a calculator. I'm gonna try to do easy math. Matter of fact, let's do easy math. Let's do one signing a day at $50. One field inspection a day at $50. Okay, so we're at 100. We're at 100. Okay, that's easy to do. That's 100 times 30 days. Let's just say you work every single day. That's $3,000 a month. That's $3,000 a month for 2 jobs. Now, that ain't 8 hours a day. That's just 2 jobs. 30 minutes at a field inspection job, 30 minutes at a loan signing. Do some travel time in there, another 30. So that's for 2 hours. 2 hours. Do you make $100 a day in 2 hours? And when I did the math, when I had my hospital job, and I love my hospital job, y'all. I love my hospital job. I was there for 8 years, but I wasn't making $25 an hour when I left. I was making that when I did after 3 and on the weekends with shift diff. If you know what shift diff is, you know what shift diff is. Do you know what shift diff is? Put a 1 in there if you know what shift diff is. Put a 1. For my hospital people, my construction people, plant people, work at the plant, they know what shift diff is. Shift diff is anytime after 3 you get paid more. Anytime you work on the holidays, you get paid more. Anytime you work on the weekends, you get paid more. Those are all prime time times if they want your life, right? And I'm not anti-job by a long shot. I love my people that, do their 9 to 5 and they love it. Some people, this is not the thing for you. It's not. I'm not being negative when I say all people aren't cut out to be an entrepreneur. I work harder now than I did at my hospital job. Actually, at any job. At any job I had, I worked much harder. I got up this morning to some stuff at 6 o'clock, email from somebody. But it's all good because I provide excellent customer service. So when I saw that note, I said, hey, I'm getting right on top of this. I'm that girl. I'm that woman. I don't play around with my business. Okay. I don't play around with my notary business, my personal notary business. I don't play around with notary educators. Anything I touch, again, we walk in excellence over here. We do. We've been doing it before it was a thing, okay? I told somebody, I was on the phone with them the other day, and somebody overheard me say, my pleasure. They was like, oh, look who eat at Chick-fil-A. I said, not only do I eat at Chick-fil-A, but I love Chick-fil-A customer service model, okay? I take care of my clients. I don't care if you're a student, if you get a document notarized, if it's 1 page, 10 pages, if it's an estate package, trust package, loan mod, just an oath only. I am your number 1 fan. I'm going to help my client get their stuff done. Okay. So I did not make $25 an hour at the hospital. I was just about close when I left. I think I was around 23-ish. And again, when I say this job is not for everybody, like my sister loves her patients. She works at the hospital. And she hates paperwork. She do. She served as a witness for me a couple of times, and she was like, there is no way. My friend had 8 apostilles. So I'm sitting there double checking this, checking the signature, doing this, and flip. Oh, sorry, I might get some water. Flipping through the documents and stuff. And she's like, there is no way I would be doing all that. But see, I ain't getting ready to do what she do. I'm not. She has no qualms about doing anything with blood and urine, whatever, That's not me. I'm not that person. When my parents were ill, it's so funny. Everybody has a role. So fortunately, I had siblings. I lost my baby sister. Y'all know that. But me and my brother, it's me, my brother, and my sister left 3. We each have different roles. I'm your administrative one when it came to handling my parents and they stuff. I'm the administrative person. I'm talking to the people at the front desk, filling out the paperwork, doing the Medicaid, et cetera, et cetera. My sister, anything my mama needs, she gonna clean her up, she gonna bathe her, she did all that, right? My brother's a realist, just period. Whatever he need to do, he gonna do it. But he is more like, even when we lost my mom, me and my sister be like, oh, and he's like, she's not Benjamin Button. What did you think was going to happen? She's 87, eventually. So not that he's a pessimist either, because he's not. He's very upbeat and positive. But I'm just saying, you see how we all kind of balance each other out? Me and her want to go on this whole long, drawn out crying thing. He's like, look, mom had a great life. Mom did ABC. And then when he said that, I'm like, oh, you know what? He is right, though. I miss my mother, but my mother had an amazing life. I'm a product of that. My dad too. So yeah, now my sister was much more tragic. Her life was just cut so short. That's different. But anyway, this is not that channel. This is not that topic. But my point is, everybody has a different role to play. Everybody, so being a notary isn't for everybody. I say that very openly, very candidly. And y'all know I got issues with dogs, right? People say, well, how do you handle that? I'm asking my screening questions. They're coming outside, depending on what it is. I ain't going in there. I'm going to meet you up in Starbucks, just depending. Excuse me. You can't do that with all of your jobs because, again, when a signing company hires you, they expect you to go to that house. Okay, you can't tell your signing company client, hey, meet me up at Starbucks because you got a dog. However, I'm going to take control of it as much as I can and say, hey, can you put that dog up until we finish the signing? Do you mind? Sorry for that. Yeah, I'm going to ask them, though, because I'm going to take control of the signing. I'm in control now. I got your papers. You need to sign them. And that just sounds like, Mr. Smith, do you mind putting the dog up while we complete the signing? If they have too many cats and stuff, again, I might have to wear my mask in there. Do you mind putting the cats up while we complete the signing? I'm highly allergic. And I'm actually allergic to dogs too. So my dog thing is different. I am allergic to dogs, but I also am very afraid of large dogs, not the little ones. Everybody say, you should be scared of the little ones. The big ones are just babies, whatever. I'm like, I ain't trying to hear that. So everybody do what's the best for them. And if best for me is put all of them up. Okay. I don't want none of your dogs, your cats on me. Okay. I don't have a pet. And when I walk out, I don't want to smell like one. I want your cat fur, dog fur on me. And I'm not anti-dog or whatever. Okay. Just real facts. And not to mention, I got to go to my next client, and my next client might be allergic. So I got to look at all that. See, as a business owner, it's not just about you and what you want. Okay. Even when I make decisions, when I go to a home and there are smokers, okay, I'm trying to make sure when I go to my next house, I don't really smell like smoke. I'm trying to see, can I air out a little bit? Because my next client they may not be able to tolerate cigarette smoke or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So every decision I make as a business owner all day long, it's never just all about me. And notary educators the same way. I run that the same way. It's never all about what Kimmi wants. I changed my business model. When did we change? Last July, we changed our business model a little bit. And this year I've made different decisions. It's going great. We've had quite a few changes. Now we have a blog. The blog is based on different tips that I've put together, but then it always leads you back to a video. And I just came up with that one day. I was like, wait a minute, why am I reinventing the wheel? I was trying to pay somebody to do blogs for me and all this. I said, wait a minute, girl, you got too much content where you got to be paying somebody to do a blog for you. So now I take my videos, which I have over 1,000. I write a few snippets about it, and then I put that out, and then it always leads back to the actual video where I talked about something. You see? So I have to get smarter, not working harder, and not paying out all my money. So same thing with you all. I have people ask me, well, who can I pay, or who can I sign up with to get general notary work? The NNA does have Find a Notary now for general notary work, $99 per year. But instead of that, how about you go out, boots on the ground? Hi, I'm Kimberly. I'd love to be your notary. Hey, I'm Kimberly. I'm a mobile notary. Did you know mobile notaries exist? If your client can't get out, it'd be my pleasure to come to them. I talk about that, do some role playing in the marketing course. Okay? So I don't even encourage you to just pay out money. Some stuff you got to get in there and do it your doggone self. Okay? That's just facts. It's just fact. You cannot pay for everything. I know people have us believing that I'll just pay somebody done for you. Do this, do that. Yeah, but some stuff you just got to get in there and do the freaking work yourself. And the reward is so much better, I'm even feeling that with my blog, okay? Because I had hesitated. I should have been got that blog started. And I was like, man, I got to be a writer, and I'm not the best writer. It needs to sound a certain way, and it needs to do ABC. Now with ChatGPT, what? The blog started in the middle of January, and I think it had, when I looked this morning, 800 persons already have looked at them. So between the blog, I started that this year, and what else we started this year? There was one more thing. Oh, I did hire I did hire a couple of virtual assistants. One of them, I don't use her. She was supposed to be for blogs, but I don't use her for that. I used her for a couple months for that. I'm like, I'm gonna do this myself. And then the other one, she does help me with my posting on IG because I just wasn't doing IG. I wasn't doing TikTok. I wasn't doing any of that the way I should. I would just throw something over there. But now I actually have somebody doing that for me. So sometimes you do have to outsource, even with your training. Some stuff you're going to be able to learn on your own. Can you watch maybe 10 to 15 YouTube videos and learn how to um, complete the I-9 form? Yeah, but if you want it quicker, then you just take my course. You know what I'm saying? I'll give it to you in 30 minutes. Or you can keep piecing this and piecing this and piecing this. Because no video is going to give you everything. No YouTube video is going to ever give you everything. Even in my training, I can't give you everything. Because some stuff is just real life. It's going to happen as it happened. But then when that does happen, you just hop in the chat that we have, private chat, and then we'll help you, okay? So all things notary will be at notaryeducatorsllc.com. For those of you just joining, I was talking about my new journal that I released today. Okay. One is hardback and one is paperback. And I love the hardback. I keep talking about it. I love the hardback. I love it. And then this is the paperback. That hardback, y'all, that's going to be my jam. This is my new thing right here. My new boo thing. So anyway, what questions do you all have? I see we have quite a few people that have joined us. I have gone off topic, which was there really a topic? I guess it was the notary journal. Any questions you all have? I see we have some new people that have joined us. What questions do you have about the notary business or my new journal? Any questions about the journal? What are your thoughts about it? Did you know the journal was so deep? Did you know that? Did you know the journal was so deep? Let me know. Let me know. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts about the journal? What goes in the journal? What's more important? Even though the journal is pretty nice. But what goes in the journal? Have you thought about that? Let's talk a little bit. What are we thinking out there? Nothing? It is a little early. I don't usually go live this early, but I have a couple appointments today, so. If we don't have anything, I'll go ahead and start wrapping up. Give you a few minutes to change your mind. As soon as I get ready to go, every time somebody has something. Nothing we're talking about? No questions. No questions about the notary business. No questions about the journal. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up then. So on behalf of Notary Educators with Kimmi, I even changed the YouTube channel this year. That was another change. I made a lot of changes this year. And we just in the first couple months of the year. So I'm excited for what's on the horizon. I really am. I'm still getting used to saying that too. So on behalf of Notary Educators with Kimmi, I want to wish you all much success. For all things notary, check out notarization.com. Don't forget to pick up your copy of my new notary journal, where every signature matters. Boom, hard copy or softback, whatever you prefer. But anyway, on behalf of everyone, we'd like to say thank you and have a good day and be very successful out there, okay? Bye. Thanks again for hanging out.